not a lot of people in the world, people question themselves and people question the directions that they want to go. And I think truly to make change in this world and to create things that last, you have to believe in your own ideas. And Tony very much believes in his own ideas and has the strength to act on those ideas. And therefore, he's helped create things that have long-lasting impact in this region.
I would describe my father as very focused, and that's probably the best advice my father ever gave me was isolate and focus. He would have a task, like the university, whatever it was, he would hyper-focus on it and get it done. He's always been that person, and that's where he's had successes in life, because he really had an ability to focus.
He really does care about the people and community and giving back and making it a better place to live. I think one of the best things you can do is give back to the community and make it a better place. And Tony absolutely, is dedicated, serious, and contributing.
He moved out of Pittsburgh, had that work ethic that I have, being a Pittsburgh guy myself. And when he moved here, this was his home. He saw no need to leave, and he's invested his time, money, and his generosity to this community, and I think it's paid dividends because we all have been affected by Tony Pascotti.
Well, I know Tony for a long time. I got to see him up close and personal, having worked with him for a number of years. And his creativity and his vision, and most important, his ability to understand how to make things happen, and the business acumen he brought to the table.
He's a very caring person who wants to make the city better, and he surrounded himself with a group of people that had a vision to create a university in Harrisburg, and they were successful at building something that's turned into an amazing university.
I think there's some parallels between Tony's career and the universities, and I think the fact that he decided to invest in the university and be a major player within that university in terms of development made a big difference not only to the university but to Tony Pascotti himself.
I think he had a vision for Harrisburg and to create the best Harrisburg there was. There was no university in Harrisburg at the time. So I think it's a combination of building a better Harrisburg, but also paying it forward.
A couple things that appealed to Tony. One, Tony was a person who had built his own business, and quite successfully. And he liked building things, and he liked creating things. And so this was an opportunity to build and create one more thing, particularly a thing that other people said, oh, you can never do, which was just even more of a challenge, right, for Tony to pick up and say, I'll show you, right? We'll create something you don't think we can.
And he had a vision and figured out how to, with a location, he put together the location, figured out how to do grants and do other things that would really help the process to make it a reality. A lot of people don't know it because he's not grandstanding about it. It was something that he did, and I think he's personally very responsible for Harrisburg University being there.
Tony's one of the most benevolent people you could ever meet. If there's a need in the community, something needs to be done, Tony's the guy to get it funded, to put the effort into getting community support from other businesses to make things happen in Harrisburg.
He's been very dedicated to organizations within Harrisburg, surrounding himself with talented people who have the same vision to create something that wasn't there before, and then taking it to the next level.
Anyone who knows Tony knows that he and his beautiful wife Brenda have been some of the leading advocates of a lot of the nonprofits in the Harrisburg area. And so the combination of what he has brought to Harrisburg in general and his very important contributions to the beginning stages and the ongoing support of Harrisburg University are why I think, and I think all of the board of directors feel that this is long overdue to recognize him and to thank him. And I can only say that the university would be a completely different entity were it not for his involvement.
The thing that stands out to me is that Tony's support for, one, the creation of the university, and two, where its initial home has been, and three, Tony was there in the very dark years that have been well chronicled about our financial challenges. And so when we needed money to keep the lights on, not figuratively, but literally keep the lights on, we would ask Tony, and Tony would more than often come through for us. And there were very few people that we could count on to support us in that way, and Tony was one of them. And so, you know, it is no small statement to say without people like Tony, we wouldn't be here, because literally we wouldn't.
And to see it today, it's easy to forget that it was a risk, it was a vision, and it took a lot of fortitude from just a few people that really made it happen. And Tony, obviously, was one of those guys.
He's an unselfish man.
He always has a group of friends that he surrounds himself that get things done. So if you take a look, you know, the core group of people that are really getting things done at Harrisburg University, one way or another, he's connected to them. And that core group has now taken it with gaming and everything else and taken Harrisburg University to another stratosphere.
Because he stepped up and because he's done so many things for the university, and I think he lives the values of the university, I think he's an ideal candidate, and Tony Pascotti, along with Brenda, are very deserving of the honor that they're being given this evening.
What's something that people might not know about him?
Our father is a shogun fisherman.
He took us fishing, you know, more than we did just about anything else.
Well, first of all, I would tell you he's a world-class fisherman.
And it goes all over the world fishing.
You have to fish with Tony to really get to know Tony.
When I met Jamie, he says, "Hey, you got to meet my dad. He's addicted to fly fishing like you."